Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am back with day 17 of May I Scraplift You, a hop started by Crystal Bear with pineapple papers. And today I am scraplifting LK at Work to Scrap, and that is her Instagram account. And she has this really cool layout. It's got a lot of sequins, a circular element, tons of layers, and some lots of wordy bits. And I love the way this turns out. And I am struggling to zoom in. That's been like the fourth video I've done that on. So anyway, I am really excited. I have these pictures of my son at the beach, and I'll be doing a lot of beach pictures coming up, and I specifically wanted to use this as mask love Sunshine Boulevard with my beach pictures. Not completely, but I think that'll be a good way to use pretty much all of this paper pad except maybe the pool pictures or the pool embellishments. And it has a 12 by 12 sticker sheet and 2 embellishment sheets, as well as a bunch of paper. And then I have these scraps, and I have a 6 by 8 paper pad. So there is this circular element, and I can't tell if it is traced, if it is inked, but I've decided I'm going to use these Paper Studio. It's thicker than an embroidery thread, and it's braided. But I really enjoy these colors, and 2 of them match almost perfectly to this collection. So I've got my pictures, my paper, this thread or yarn or whatever, this layout. So let's see how this goes. So I once again have my cute little layout up there in the top, like my friend Anna taught me to do. And I have this where I've cut a circle out before. And so what I did so that I can make this circular element more fluid is put this circle down and then just put Nouveau Deluxe in the circle right around it. And I start with the hot pink, and I started over there on the right because I know that's where my picture is gonna end, and I didn't know I didn't want too many of the ends of the yarn or thread, whatever you want to call it, to show. So I'd start with the pink, and I'd take some time, and I go all the way around and just push it down into the Nouveau Deluxe so that it'll hold. And then I do the same thing with the teal, but I move it a little so it's not exactly on top of where the pink is, but it is still in that same circle, the same size circle. So, oh, my Paper Studios thing says it's twine. Twine seems like it's more brisk to me, or more tough, but anyway, whatever, that's what it's called. So then I get the 6 by 8 paper pad out, and I pull 2 different full sheets out. This one and the one I'd already pulled out, and then the flamingos. And I pull the flamingos because that is actually what is on my son's bathing suit, is panda bears sitting in flamingo floats. So I figure this was a really good time to do that. So also on her layout, she has matted her pictures in black, or in white, and then in black. It helps them pop off the page and stand out. And since they are the focal point of the paper, or the layout, I wanted to do that. And so I did. And then I pull this pattern paper, and it is the same pattern as the background paper, except the background paper is tone on tone with blue. And then this, of course, has all the fabulous colors from this Mask Love collection. And so I put it on there, and then I put it on black so it would stand out against that triangular paper, because it's the same pattern or the same colors, and I knew it was going to disappear in there, and I didn't really want to ink it. I really wanted to add a little more of a layer, so it kind of adds enough definition to the pictures to where they are coming off the page saying, "Look at me," which is pretty much what you want when you are scrapbooking, at least, I would assume. So I have this flamingo paper, and it was a scrap, so yay for me, I'm using a scrap already. So check that off of the must do. And I get that torn to where I'm going to have a torn element at the top. And I believe on her layout, she has like a notebook paper type punch or something that she's used. And this is twice that I've scrapbooked or scraplifted somebody's stuff that had one of those, and I don't have that. So I'm going to have to look into that. I bet I could find that on Amazon or something. So I need that because I love that little notebook paper look. So I lay this down and that blue disappears, and I don't like how the other paper is standing out. Like it stands out against the background paper, but not as much as I would like. So I mat it on this just solid white cardstock. And not only does it add another layer, but it gives a little more definition to my stack of pictures. And so, or stack of papers and pictures. So I ink it, the top part where it's torn, with black soot distress. And then I put it down on white. And then I tore the white paper. So then I add this strip up here at the top, because in the layout there is a banner that starts at the top and goes all the way to the bottom. You can see the little fishtail coming out at the bottom right there on the left side of the picture. And I want to pretty much do that exact same thing. So I just took this scrap, so 2 scraps used, yay me. And actually all of that white paper and the black paper I used to mat my pictures are also scraps. So I am just going for it with the scraps as well as the flamingo paper. So go me, go me, go me. So then I use my T-ruler to make sure that they are reasonably even and get that little thing down. And I did distress just the bottom part with my Tim Holtz distress tool. So I get that down, and then I'm trying to decide what else I want to do, and I'm cleaning up my space, zooming in on the layout, and then I pull my sticker sheet and ephemera sheets out. And there's a couple things I know I want to use. And I just about took the adhesive off the corners. I have put double-sided tape in the middle of this stack of papers, and just so it would stay in one place. But I've also got adhesive all around the outside, but I did not pull off the little covers on it so that I could tuck things if I wanted to. And so I think I do all of that off camera. So I pull this thing off the ephemera sheet that says look on the sunny side. And I also pull out this flamingo. And I'm going to use both those on the layout. And then I go and I'm looking. I almost use that sunscreen just as an extra embellishment. But it's like a tan off-white color. And everything on here is white. So I don't want to do that. So then I pop this up on foam. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a small little bit of green foam back there, and it was a thinner foam than the white, and that part is sitting up on an extra layer, so I didn't want it to be coming off the page like it's lifting off or something. So I continue going through my sticker sheet, and anything I find, I matted it on this cardstock, because these stickers are like a thin paper, not washy, but thin. So if there's any dimension going underneath them, they're going to be bumpy. So I mat them on the white paper so that it gives it a little more definition coming off the page, as well as giving it some stiffness. So I put this flamingo. One of them is going to go on the right, one's going to go on the left because they're facing the opposite directions, which I love. And I still have one flamingo sticker left that I can use for another layout with my son, since I'm sure I have a few more. We were at the beach for a week, and I did take quite a few pictures. So I look through the sticker sheet, see if there's anything else. I pull a couple of leaves off that are in that dark teal color, which is the color that my son is wearing. And I thought that those would just be a good addition. It'll bring in that teal, which is what's the sunny side. Signs is on that teal. And so I tuck one in at the top. I tuck one in down by the flamingo on the bottom left. And then I just look to see if there's anything else. And I do end up pulling a couple things off and putting them back. But I do pull off one more leafy bit, and it's got an orange on it. And I don't want the orange because that has nothing to do with anything. There is a little orange peeking out on these papers, but nothing of any significance. So I don't want to bring that in. So I kind of trim part of the orange off so the leafy bit, there it is, will tuck behind. So I have to cut part of it off so it'll go down far enough so you can't see the leaf. I mean, so you can't see the orange. And that just adds a little extra up there at the top next to that banner. So then I'm going to put the sticker book up, and then, so in her layout, she has a cluster up there in the top right corner, and then she also has that big title in the middle of the left. And I'm not going to do that. Like, I feel like Look on the Sunny Side or Stay Cool is enough for a title. So I'm not going to add any more there, but I want to pull out something to add to this side over here and into the middle on the left side. So I have this Park Lane frames, and I love them. They are adhesive. They're so cute. And I just cut it in half, put half of it on the top right and the other half in the middle over there on the left. And I just enjoy how they look, and they add a little dimension to the layout and a little pop of color. That pink is pretty much the same color as that I have already in the layout. So I just get those over there. And then I put that flamingo on top of the one on the right. And then I am going to tuck in some word phrases over here. And I'm trying to think of, oh, I was putting the frame down. I was like, what am I doing? So I get some word phrases for my Tim Holtz book, and I just put down, love yourself first, miracles happen when you believe, and let it go. And it's just nothing in particular or specific about this picture that any of those really invoke, but I felt like they were words to live by. And, you know, he's at the beach, so, you know, you can kind of let your cares go when you're hanging out at a gorgeous ocean with your family. So that she has, I almost said stencils. She has sequins all over her layout, like all over her layout. And I love how that looks. It's really, really pretty. But I decided that I was going to contain mine a little bit more. So I used my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I just made a bunch of dots in the middle of that circle. And then I take a light pink, a hot pink, a blue, and like a turquoisey light blue, and just alternate them around. No in particular order, just, not in particular, no particular order. It's late. I need to go to bed. It's been a very long day, and I was in the car for 6 hours or more, driving to and from. So I'm tired, but I wanted to get this done so I could upload it. So anyway, I decided I would put the sequins in the middle of the circle, and then I also filled the frame space in, and then I put a cluster of 3 up there at the top and a cluster of 3 down at the bottom. And then she has like a word phrase cluster here right above the picture, and I thought I would kind of nod to that with this Tim Holtz that says, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. And then I got my Jelly Roll Moonlight pin out in this blue color and just did a doodle border like she has on her layout as well. And I think that might be the end of this layout. I really enjoyed this layout. It was so much fun. I love how that twine worked for me. I am definitely going to use that again. I don't sew much on my layouts, so I felt like this was a really good alternative to drawing or doing mixed media necessary. And so I really enjoyed it. See how she has all those sequins all over? I really do love that. I think it's great. But I really love this layout. It turned out so cute, at least in my opinion. And I love how his pictures just really pop off the page. Even though the circle bit and all those shiny sequins are on there, I really feel like his pictures are the first thing that you are drawn to. So here are the close-ups. I hope you all go in the description box below. Follow along with all the different creatives who are hopping along this month. Also, check out Work to Scrap on Instagram. She had some really neat layouts. It was super hard to select just one. So I hope you will check her out as well. And I hope you all come back tomorrow for day 18 for May I Scraplift You. And I hope to see you all again really soon. So have a great day. Be kind to one another. Love the ones you love. And happy scrapping.